Life can be painful. We all face struggles, setbacks, and heartaches. It's easy to feel alone in our suffering. We question why things happen and wonder if the pain will ever end. The darkness whispers doubts, making us believe we are the only ones hurting, but there is hope. There is strength to be found in the midst of our struggles. The Apostle Paul knew suffering firsthand. He described a thorn in his flesh, a constant source of pain and hardship. We don't know exactly what this thorn was, but we know it caused him great anguish. He pleaded with God to take it away, but God's answer surprised him. God's grace was sufficient for Paul, even in his weakness. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. These words from God to Paul offer incredible comfort and hope. They remind us that in our moments of greatest struggle, we are not alone. God's grace is not the absence of suffering, it is His presence and strength in the midst of it. When we face challenges, it is easy to feel overwhelmed and defeated. But it is precisely in these moments of weakness that God's power shines through most brilliantly. His strength is made perfect in our vulnerability. Our struggles become opportunities for God to work in and through us. Each trial we face is a chance to experience His grace more deeply and to witness His power in action. His grace becomes our strength. It is a source of hope and resilience, enabling us to persevere and to find peace, even in the most difficult circumstances. Let us embrace our weaknesses, knowing that through them God's strength is revealed. Embracing the thorn, finding purpose. Paul learned to embrace his thorn not because he enjoyed the pain, but because he saw God's purpose in it. He understood that every thorn, every challenge was a part of a greater plan. It wasn't about the suffering itself, but about what the suffering could teach him. He saw that his weakness allowed God's power to be more fully displayed. In his moments of vulnerability, he found strength not in himself, but in his faith. This realization transformed his perspective, turning his pain into a source of spiritual growth. He realized that his weakness allowed God's power to be more fully displayed. He began to see his struggles as opportunities for God to work through him to show others the power of faith and resilience. His journey was not just about overcoming obstacles, but about finding meaning in them. Our struggles can have a similar effect. They can shape us, mold us into better versions of ourselves. When we face hardships, we have a choice to let them break us or to let them build us. Through our trials, we can become more empathetic, more understanding of others' pain. They can refine us, making us more compassionate and understanding. Our experiences, both good and bad, contribute to our growth. They teach us lessons that we might not have learned otherwise. In helping others, we find a sense of purpose and fulfillment. They can draw us closer to God as we learn to rely on His grace. In our moments of despair, we often find ourselves reaching out for something greater than ourselves. It is in these times that we discover the true depth of our faith and the strength that comes from trusting in a higher power. Your thorn, your story. We all have our own thorns, our own unique struggles. Your story matters, your pain is real, and God sees it. He hasn't forgotten you. He promises to walk with you through every trial. Don't give up hope. Don't let your pain define you. Let God's grace be your strength. More than conquerors, a promise for today. In the midst of our daily struggles and challenges, we often seek a beacon of hope, a promise that can uplift our spirits and guide us through the darkest times. In all these things, we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. This powerful message reminds us that no matter what we face, we have the strength to overcome because of the love that surrounds us. This is God's promise to you today. It is a promise that transcends time and circumstance, offering a constant source of comfort and reassurance. You are not alone in your suffering. Even in moments of solitude and despair, there is a community of love and support ready to lift you up. You are not defined by your pain. Your identity is not tied to your struggles, but to your resilience and the strength you find in overcoming them. God's grace is sufficient for you, providing you with the strength and courage to face each new day with hope and determination. And His power is made perfect in your weakness. Embrace His grace. In your moments of vulnerability, you will find the greatest strength. Find strength in His love. Let it be the foundation upon which you build your life, knowing that you are cherished and supported. And remember, you are more than a conqueror through Christ. With this promise, face each day with confidence and peace, knowing that you are never alone.